So I'm back on trail after spending the night at Kennedy Meadows. Super great place. Definitely a contender for one of my favorite, like, on or near trail kind of resorty places. The store had a pretty good stock. Yeah, I got a ride out this morning. Super quiet on the highway. Wasn't too easy to get a ride, but I managed to score one and back on trail. I've got 18 miles till my approach trail for the high route. It's super beautiful out here again. I really like Sonora Pass. Nice break from all the trees and stuff. Just super open, beautiful. So, not quite the granite that I was picturing, but kind of better in a way, honestly. I really like this. I'm really excited to see what's over this hill, so I should be getting a pretty good view. Let's take a break from the wind here. It's the first wind break I've had in a while. I can't remember the last time I've had this much fun on trail. I can't remember the last time I've been this happy. Oh my god. I'm in the Sierra. And it's so cool. I just came out from here and kind of just wound around here and stuff, and it's just been every little summit I make, the views just get better than the last. You're not going to be able to hear me talk because it's going to get really fucking windy once I leave this, but this is the next view. So I just checked my maps. So I'm going to be exiting the PCT at Cascade Falls, which is only 8 miles away from where I am right now. And then from there to get to Twin Lakes, it's 16 miles. So I don't think I'm going to make it there today. It's already 1:30. So I'm gonna probably end up camping near the junction today, do the 16 miles tomorrow. I'm gonna look at my maps again when I make camp tonight and see how far I have to get up and over the first pass on the high route, and that'll kind of determine whether or not I start tomorrow. This is turning into quite an ordeal, but that's alright, it's worth it. Oh, I just had my first off-trail adventure. There wasn't a junction from the Cascade Falls Trail to the trail I'm on now, even though my maps said there was. Just wasn't there, so I cut through this forest here, just kind of made my way across this little river, and here I am. I was so happy to see this trail because I wandered a bit on the Cascade Falls Trail, just kind of like trusting the maps and just thinking like, okay, maybe they're just a little off. But they're pretty way off. So I'm at Paiute Meadows. It's good. It's real good. In fact, it reminds me of a place that my family and I used to go backpacking all the time when I was a kid in the high Uinta Range in Utah called Christmas Meadows. And coincidentally, that's the home of the first place I ever went off trail as a kid, just alone. My dad had little fanny packs with the 10 essentials in them and radios and stuff, and I just took that and set off across the meadow and went exploring. It just seems so appropriate for what I'm about to do. And it's just mind-blowingly beautiful here. I can't believe it. I'm climbing up, I think it's Kirkwood Pass. It's pretty steep. This is probably one of the best days I've had in a while. Except for, yesterday was really good too, but I'm just really glad I split off the PCT for a while. You just, I don't know, I get too comfortable and complacent hiking the defined paths like that, and just, I don't know, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and it's just not as exciting as stuff like this, like when you're hiking something like the PCT, you're seeing things that most people won't see in their lifetimes all at once. And then, being out here, I'm seeing things that the PCT hikers aren't seeing, it's like, it just feels infinitely more exciting and special to me than being on the PCT. I feel less comfortable. I feel a little more nervous and vulnerable, and it's not like I'm an adrenaline junkie or anything. It's just, I don't know, it feels more raw and more along the lines of why I keep coming out into the wilderness. And I think that kind of says something about the future of my hiking. Is I don't know that I'm gonna come out and do one of these kinds of trails again. I don't know, it's just more fun. I'm more engaged mentally. I don't pop in like a podcast or audiobook while I'm hiking while I do this kind of stuff, because it requires my attention. I just feel a lot more connected to the experience this way, and it's just a lot more fun. So, yeah, I don't know, I think going forward, I'm just gonna do stuff like this more often, instead of saying I'm going to hike all of this trail. I might use some of these trails to get to different places, but I just don't feel like completing something like the PCT is important to me. So yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I have any regrets about setting out to hike the whole PCT, or setting out to hike the whole Oregon Coast Trail or Appalachian Trail. All of those experiences kind of brought me to a place where I feel a lot more comfortable in my ability to do something like the high route, and all of them push me to do more and more, I guess, experienced things, and I'm finally feel like I'm pretty well ready to do something like this. So I think that's all those trails meant to me, and I've had fun doing them, and they were a very necessary chapter in my life, but I think that chapter's coming to an end here, and I think I'm just gonna start working on my own routes and stuff like that in lieu of doing these super long, Triple Crown trails. It's just so much more fun, and you feel a lot more engaged with the experience. I've worked on my own routes before. I've hiked a couple of them, and really, I mean, it's just like your soul is in the whole project. You put so many hours into looking at these maps and stuff like that, and you have a general idea of what you're about to walk into, but it doesn't prepare you for the moment for when you actually walk into these places and you see them. That's an outstanding moment. It's real cool. This is all for me personally, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with doing these trails. I recommend it highly, but just for me, as of this moment, it's just kind of over, I think. And it's not a sad kind of farewell, it's just like, you finish a book and you move on to the next one. Real excited, real happy, really just in the experience now. It seems to me that it's like a pretty seldom visited corner of the Sierra. Somehow. Only downside is there's just not a lot of water. There would be earlier in the season, but since it's so late, the snowpack is pretty much melted out. So yeah, I made it up and over my first pass. I'm going down into this canyon. Heading east right now. I'm gonna hook south, go over Buckeye Pass, and then hook east again, go through a canyon valley thing, and then I'll be at the campground. It's not to say that I'm close, but I'm closer than I was when I started. Oh man. That was my stomach. Definitely almost lunchtime. Ruined the serenity. Found a little cabin. I don't think I want to go in it, but this would have made a nice little dwelling back in the day. This is the first real sign I've seen all day. I'm at the top of Buckeye Pass at 9,000 feet. I'm officially in Yosemite National Park. It's pretty cool up here, actually. I don't even think I'm going that way, but it was a good shot. day just keeps getting better and better. It's just, this is so hard to beat. This doesn't get any better than this. It could, and it probably will, but this is kind of the kind of day I'd like to have. It's just, I've done a lot of climbing and been through a lot of interesting places, meadows and lakes and valleys and canyons. It's just overall been a very beautiful day. That's a lot of switchbacks. Kind of reminds me of the Golden Staircase on the JMT. There's Twin Lakes out in the distance. I'm getting pretty close here. And, you know, I just got the best view in the world right now. Well, one of them. That's pretty cool. If I had to guess, I would say that my entry to the high route is going to be going through that canyon right here. I know it goes through something.